The lie that sounded harmless. The word camping never scared me. If anything, it sounded peaceful. Fresh air. Silence. Trees whispering secrets to the wind. So when my wife said it casually, almost smiling, "I'm going camping for the weekend," I didn't react. She was folding clothes while she said it. Calm. Normal. Like she was telling me she'd be late from work. "Where?" I asked, not looking up from my laptop. "Up north. Pine Ridge area," she replied quickly. "Just 2 nights." "Just 2 nights." I nodded. "With who?" She hesitated just a second too long. "With Daniel," she said. "You know him. My best friend." That was the moment something shifted inside me. Not pain. Not anger. Just quiet awareness. Daniel had always been there. At birthdays. At dinners. In our photos. He laughed too loud. Touched her shoulder too often. Finished her sentences like he had memorized them. But he was just a friend. That's what everyone said. That's what she said. And I believed her. Because trust isn't loud. It's silent. It sits patiently, even when doubt knocks. The calm before the storm. She packed light. Too light. 1 small bag. New hiking boots she had never mentioned buying. A jacket I'd never seen before. "You don't need more clothes?" I asked. She smiled. "We're not going to a fashion show." I smiled back. I didn't check her phone. Didn't ask more questions. Didn't warn her. I kissed her forehead before she left. "Be safe," I said. She hugged me tightly. Too tightly. And then she was gone. What I didn't do. I didn't follow her. I didn't install tracking apps. I didn't call her friends. Because when love becomes surveillance, it's already dead. So I waited. The call that changed everything. Monday morning. 8:47 a.m. I was halfway through my second coffee when my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost ignored it. "Hello?" I said. "This is Human Resources," a woman said professionally. "Is this Mr. Harris?" "Yes. We need you to come in today. Regarding your wife." My heart skipped. "Is she okay?" I asked. There was a pause. "She's not hurt," the woman said carefully. "But there are concerns." Concerns. That word is heavier than panic. "I'll be there," I said. HR doesn't call for no reason. The office was quiet. Too quiet. No small talk. No smiles. They led me into a conference room with glass walls and closed the door. A laptop sat in the center of the table. 2 HR representatives sat across from me. One slid a folder forward. "We recently conducted a routine compliance audit," she said. "Company-issued devices. Location access. Media backups." I didn't understand yet. Then she said it. "Your wife used her work laptop during the trip." The air left my lungs. "She logged into the company cloud," the other rep added, "which automatically syncs photos and short videos." I stared at the laptop. "We haven't shown her yet," the woman said softly. "Legally, we needed to notify you first." "Why?" I asked. "Because," she said, "what we saw changes more than just company policy." She opened the laptop. Paused the screen. Didn't press play. "Before we continue," she said, looking me in the eyes, "I need to ask, do you want to see it?" I thought of my wife's smile. Her hug. The word camping. I nodded. Yes. The screen stayed dark. She didn't press play yet. "Mr. Harris," she said gently, "what you're about to see isn't explicit. But it is intimate." Intimate. That word can shatter a marriage. I folded my hands. "Show me." And she pressed play. When the screen finally played, the video started without sound. At first, it looked harmless. Trees. A dirt road. A car parked beside a clearing. The timestamp sat quietly in the corner of the screen. Friday, 6:42 p.m. She told us it was a work-free weekend, the HR woman said softly. But the laptop stayed active. The camera shifted. I saw my wife. She was laughing. Not the polite smile she used with strangers. Not the tired smile she brought home after work. This was a free laugh. A young laugh. The kind she used to have when we first met. She was wearing the jacket I didn't recognize. Daniel stood beside her. Too close. His hand brushed her back as he passed her a bottle of water. She didn't move away. Nothing illegal. Everything personal. They walked deeper into the trees. The video cut. Another clip loaded automatically. Friday, 9:13 p.m. A fire pit. 2 chairs. 1 blanket. 1. They sat under it together. Her head leaned against his shoulder. Not dramatically. Not secretly. Comfortably. Like it belonged there. My chest tightened not because of what they did, but because of how natural it looked. The HR woman paused the video. She didn't look at the screen. She looked at me. "We stopped watching after this," she said. "Company policy isn't the issue anymore." I nodded slowly. "Is there more?" I asked. "Yes." She clicked again. Saturday morning. 7:06 a.m. The camera angle was shaky, as if placed carelessly. My wife walked into frame. Barefoot. Hair loose. Daniel followed moments later. They shared coffee. 1 mug. She took a sip. Then he did. She laughed again. And said something I couldn't hear. But I recognized the expression on her face. That expression was never meant for friends. The silence in the room. No one spoke. The video ended. The screen went black. I realized my hands were still folded. Steady. No shaking. No tears. Just pressure deep and quiet behind my ribs. "I understand," I said finally. The HR woman exhaled, relieved. "We wanted to handle this with dignity," she said. "You deserve that." "Has she seen it?" I asked. "No," she replied. "She thinks this meeting is about a policy violation." I nodded. "When will you show her?" I asked. "This afternoon," she said. "We wanted you present if you chose to be." I thought for a long moment. "Yes," I said. "I'll be here." I didn't go home. I stayed in my car for 2 hours. Didn't call her. Didn't text. I replayed memories instead. Our wedding day. Her vows shaking with emotion. The way she used to say my name when she was tired. I realized something painful. She hadn't become a stranger. She had simply stopped choosing me. When she walked into HR. At 2:17 p.m., the glass door opened. She walked in smiling. Confident. Unaware. "Hey," she said when she saw me. "What's going on?" I stood up calmly. "Just sit," I said. Something in my voice changed. Her smile faded. The HR woman closed the door. "Thank you for coming," she said to my wife. "This won't take long." My wife glanced at me again. "Why is he here?" she asked. The HR woman turned the laptop toward her and pressed play. Her face changed first. Confusion. Then recognition. Then fear. Her hand flew to her mouth. "That's," she whispered. "That's not." The video continued. Her laugh. The blanket. The coffee. Her shoulders collapsed inward. The room felt smaller. "I can explain," she said quickly, standing up. "No," the HR woman said gently. "Please watch." Saturday morning played again. This time, louder. Longer. Clearer. When it ended, my wife didn't cry. She didn't shout. She didn't deny it anymore. She just whispered. "I didn't think it looked like that." I finally spoke. "It didn't look like anything," I said quietly. "It was something." She looked at me then. Really looked. And for the first time since she said the word camping, she knew. She had lost me. The apology that came too late. The HR representatives left us alone. No lectures. No threats. Just a closed door and the truth sitting between us. My wife stayed standing. Her hands trembled, gripping the back of the chair like it was the only thing keeping her upright. "I swear," she said quickly, words tumbling over each other, "nothing happened the way it looks." I didn't answer. Silence is terrifying when lies have nowhere to hide. She swallowed hard. "We didn't sleep together," she said. I never crossed that line. I finally looked at her. "You crossed it long before that," I said calmly. She flinched. When people defend the wrong thing. "It was emotional," she admitted. "I know that now. But I was lonely." I nodded once. "I was married," I replied. "And still lonely sometimes." I didn't go camping with another woman. Tears filled her eyes. "You were always working," she said softly. "I was providing," I answered. "For us." She shook her head. "I didn't mean to fall into it," she whispered. "Nobody ever does." The moment she broke. She sank into the chair. "I never planned for you to see," she said. "I thought I could fix it before it became real." That sentence hurt more than the videos. Not because of Daniel. But because she believed deception was a solution. "You weren't fixing anything," I said. "You were deciding every day to lie." Her shoulders shook. "I love you," she said desperately. "I swear I do." I stood up. "I believe you," I said. She looked up, hope flashing across her face. "But love without respect," I continued, "is just fear of being alone." That hope died instantly. Why I didn't yell. She expected anger. She expected accusations. She expected me to beg or threaten. But I had already mourned the marriage in my car hours earlier. What stood in front of her now wasn't a broken husband. It was a man who had accepted reality. The question she was afraid to ask. "Are you going to leave me?" She whispered. I took a deep breath. "Yes." One word. "Clean. Final." She gasped, like she'd been punched. "But we can go to counseling," she pleaded. "I'll cut him off. I'll quit my job if I have to." I shook my head gently. "You didn't lose me because of him," I said. "You lost me because you made choices and hoped consequences wouldn't come." She cried then. Not loudly. The quiet kind. The kind that comes when there's nothing left to negotiate. The HR aftermath. We exited separately. She was placed on administrative leave pending review. Not for cheating. For misuse of company equipment. Life has a strange way of balancing things. I drove home alone. The house felt different. Not empty. Honest. That night. She came home late. Eyes red. Voice small. I don't know where to go, she said. You can stay tonight, I replied. On the couch. Relief crossed her face. Thank you, she whispered. Kindness isn't weakness. It's control. What I learned. That night, lying in bed alone, I realized something important. Trust doesn't shatter loudly. It erodes quietly. And once it's gone, no apology can rebuild it the same way. The man, she said, was just a friend. I didn't plan to see Daniel. I didn't hunt him down. Didn't call. Didn't warn. But life has a way of placing people in front of you when you're finally calm enough to face them. 3 days after the HR meeting, I walked into a small coffee shop near my office. And there he was. Daniel sat near the window, typing on his laptop like nothing in the world had shifted. When he saw me, his posture stiffened. Hey, he said cautiously, standing halfway. Man, I didn't know. You don't need to explain, I said, holding up a hand. I just want to talk. He sat back down slowly. No threats. No violence. Just truth. She told me you were okay with the trip, he said quickly. That you trusted her. I nodded. I did, I replied. That's why this conversation is short. He looked confused. I'm not here to fight you, I said. I'm here to end something. His jaw tightened. She loves you, he said. But we just connected. I leaned forward. Connection without boundaries is betrayal, I said calmly. You didn't trip into this. You stepped into it. He looked away. She came to me, he muttered. That told me everything. The line he crossed. You were my wife's friend, I continued. Which meant you were supposed to protect my marriage, not test its weaknesses. He swallowed hard. I didn't mean to hurt anyone, he said. That's the difference between you and me, I replied. I meant to protect something. You meant to enjoy it. I stood. This ends now, I said. Whatever fantasy you thought you were part of, it's over. He didn't argue. Because deep down, he knew it was never real. Her last attempt. That night, my wife waited for me in the living room. She had cooked dinner. Set candles. Wore the dress I once loved. I talked to Daniel, she said carefully. I know, I replied. Her face fell. I ended it, she rushed. Completely. I told him I choose you. I sat down across from her. You already chose, I said gently. She broke. I was. Stupid, she sobbed. I thought I could have both. You can't, I replied. Not love and lies. The final conversation. I'll change, she pleaded. I swear. I believe you, I said. But change doesn't erase history. She looked at me, desperate. Then what does this mean, she asked. It means, I said slowly, I forgive you. Her eyes widened. But I don't stay. Forgiveness isn't permission to repeat the harm. It's release. The morning I left, I packed quietly. No slammed doors. No shouting. She stood in the doorway, watching. I never thought you'd actually leave, she whispered. I never thought you'd make me need to, I replied. I walked out with my dignity intact. What this story is really about. It's not about cheating. It's about boundaries. It's about how calm strength speaks louder than rage. And how sometimes the kindest thing you can do is walk away. What remains after the truth? The divorce was quiet. No court drama. No public accusations. No social media wars. Just papers signed across a table where love once lived. She cried through most of it. I didn't. Not because I felt nothing, but because I had already felt everything. Life after leaving. I moved into a smaller apartment across town. It wasn't fancy. But it was peaceful. I woke up without checking my phone. Ate dinner without wondering who was lying. Slept without the weight of suspicion pressing on my chest. Peace, I learned, is expensive. But it's worth every cost. What happened to her? She lost more than a marriage. Her job let her go quietly after the investigation concluded. Daniel disappeared from her life as easily as he entered it. The connection didn't survive reality. It never does. Months later, she called me. Not to come back. Just to talk. I finally understand, she said through tears. You didn't leave because you stopped loving me. I stayed silent. You left because I stopped protecting us, she continued. Yes, I said. That was the truth she needed to sit with. Kindness is not weakness. Some people thought I was cold. They said I should have fought harder. Yelled louder. Punished her. But anger is easy. Walking away with your integrity intact is harder. And stronger. The lesson. Love isn't proven by how much you forgive. It's proven by how much you refuse to accept disrespect. Trust is not rebuilt by promises. It's protected by boundaries. And sometimes the most powerful sentence you'll ever say is, I deserve better. The ending. I don't hate her. I don't wish her pain. I simply chose myself. And that choice saved my life. Final message to the viewer. If you're watching this and ignoring red flags because you're afraid to be alone, remember this. Loneliness inside a broken relationship is far worse than solitude with self-respect.